So I feel like this research and learning center is a mad scientist playground. It's a really wonderful resource that we are able to use and think about what questions can we answer, what problems can we solve, what's going to be interesting. We're always looking for things that can be improved and done better. I've really appreciated the opportunity to do that work and do meaningful work, but also connect with our farmers and our salespeople and really use this research and learning center. I think that people will care more and trust us more if we do explain what we're doing and why.
The original tagline for Legacy was integrity in every bag, because when someone comes into our environment, they're coming into an expectation that we're going to do things the right way. That's what they did. And the first alfalfa breeder we had, Dave Husett, was probably the most respected alfalfa breeders in the industry because of the integrity aspect of his work.
Prior to having the building and having 2 greenhouses on the backside, we had a couple acres down in Evansville, Wisconsin that we're breeding alfalfa on, and realizing growth was the next step. That was the limiting factor. We needed to take that next step to become more professional. And Bruce and Legacy Seeds, the other 2 partners, purchased this land. Buying this piece of land in 2017, created that opportunity.
We want to make sure that as we gather data, it's relevant data. It's real world data. We can talk about, okay, like this line, it might be brand new, but wow, it is already outperforming this competitive variety. That's really promising to us.
This here is a competitive product sold on the market, and you can see it's mostly clover. There's maybe 20% alfalfa, and right next to it happens to be our 470 HD. We have plots in here from 2019 through present, and our breeders plant 100 plants.
So then we'll wait, and we'll look at that again next year, and then a year later. So again, the longer that our stuff stays in the field, the more realistic our end product will be when we make claims about persistence. How do you get persistence? You have to wait. So what we're doing with the harvester is going into those fields, into our little experiments, and I am harvesting the data, I'm harvesting the yield. And there's a big difference, from variety to variety, through selection, through time, through its pedigree and its ancestry. Certain things are going to be higher yielding. Those will move forward.
We had test plots in 2018, 19, 20, so we're going into a few years of it now, starting to get a lot more practices, a lot more procedures and everything down, getting the right equipment.
He used to harvest all our alfalfa with this. Nothing wrong with it, but as we get bigger, more people, bigger area to cover, we were able to get a kind of a custom-made forage harvester.
It takes one person start to finish to do the same job as it takes about 4 to 5 people. So
it's just an efficiency thing, and it makes sense.
Moving alfalfa to certain areas, to allow for the sun and the angle of the soils, and getting the right size equipment to work on it. Kind of had to create our own corn planters and equipment and everything that made the job scalable to what we were trying to accomplish, but represent what was happening out in agriculture. That's the challenge between research and reality.
At the Research and Learning Center, we're also hosting tours. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, seeing it physically, like standing in the field and looking at the differences, is really just so valuable. And that gives us as researchers information, but it also gives our customers and our salespeople a really awesome resource. Because again, we're a research farm, so we're doing both. We're doing research and we're farming. But we have to make sure that it is the real deal for the American farmer as well.
The early years and stuff, when it first started, pretty much the company was in a small warehousing facility in Waupaca. And now to where we are today and stuff, that'll allow even better growth as we move forward. I'm excited for myself, but also excited for the rest of the group.
The improvements that I'm making are hopefully going to make life easier for the people who use it. That's something as a breeder and as a scientist, I really need to always have my ear to the ground and have conversations with farmers, or have conversation with our salespeople who are truly, on the ground, on the farm, looking at what the needs are that exist, thinking about what the needs are that might exist, and communicating with me. A way to keep us in check is to make sure that the results that we're seeing are realistic and meaningful and repeatable.